Good evening, and welcome to my channel, Positivity in Motion, where I share tips with you to help you kickstart into having a fantastic week. I'm Victoria, and on my channel, I have no gimmicks, it's just me. But I have a lot of wisdom that I would like to share with you to help you on your journey. I am glad that you popped in this evening to spend some time with us. I hope you had a fantastic month in February, febrero, knowing that it's the month of love and, of course, Black History Month. Remember to find time to learn about Black history throughout the year because knowledge is power. Now, tonight we're reviewing and exploring the Holy Spirit and intuition. Have you ever experienced that inner voice trying to guide you and urging you not to say something? Put different decisions in your mind and thought, prompting you to make a decision that feels right versus what you might internally want to do? Maybe you thought of someone instinctively that they weren't the right person for you. Your intuition is trying to guide you. Well, this week I want to dive into intuition and the role of the Holy Spirit in our lives. In a world filled with media advice on relationships, how to attract someone, how to impress someone, it's essential to remember that no one knows you better than your intuition and being guided by the Holy Spirit. Too often we overlook the inner wisdom and favor of outside opinions. I'm speaking because I've been there before. We don't always need to look at outside opinions because they can lead us astray. I've faced this challenge myself, like I shared, whether in my personal life, work, or even in everyday decisions. So let's get started on the journey together. Let's get in motion. Intuition now is often defined as the ability to comprehend something without conscious reasoning. It represents the gut feeling or immediate insight to an experience which you need to make a decision on or solve a problem. Intuition emerges from the blend of experiences that we've had, knowledge, and emotional intelligence. Here's how it works. And I'm laughing because sometimes we just don't follow it. But this is how it is supposed to work. We have experience and knowledge that we've gained over time as we have faced various situations. Our brain collects and stores this information, and we've also covered that the subconscious is part of that also. It's this accumulation of knowledge that shapes our intuitive responses. For instance, now, if you have considerable experience in the field, let's say, of the brain or any specific field, the brain can swiftly synthesize the relevant information and guide your decision in that area. Like mine, a specific would be the arts. I know a lot about the arts. When I watch certain dance performances or hear certain songs or performances by people, I can critique those with somewhat accuracy because my field and knowledge in that is expanded. Now, there's also an emotional response. The emotional responses that we have. This one sometimes gets us into trouble. But emotions play a key role in intuition. Sometimes we may feel an immediate emotional response to a situation which can guide our instincts. This emotional intelligence helps to navigate social situations or interpersonal dynamics effectively. It helps us to do that. Now, we talked about the subconscious mind. Well, the subconscious mind does process. A lot of our decision making happens beneath the surface, and there are other videos on that. Our subconscious mind processes vast amounts of information continuously. It really never sleeps, leading to a kind of a aha moment when we suddenly understand our decision on something that we know without exactly understanding how we came to that conclusion. It's very, 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 very interesting. But that's what intuition is. Now, while intuition is incredibly valuable, it really is, especially when we pay attention to it, it's also essential to balance that with analytical thinking. We can't just jump on everything. And I think that's where a lot of us, myself included, run into some drawbacks is we want to try to analyze everything. But you do need to have some analytical thinking, especially with complex, high stakes situations. Trusting your instinct can be beneficial, but it's helpful now to back them up with factual information when necessary. Now, intuition and the Holy Spirit can both be thoughts in our head, in our spirit, in our body that are guiding forces in our lives. And they have distinct differences. So let's talk about some of the similarities and differences in intuition and the Holy Spirit. The similarities now, both intuition and the Holy Spirit can offer guidance in decision making. People often describe intuitive feelings as a form of inner knowing, while many believers, and I'm a believer, consider guidance from the Holy Spirit as a divine influence that helps us to discern right from wrong. Inner understanding of intuition often provides a sense of understanding or clarity without the need for conscious reasoning. And it's similar to how the Holy Spirit is perceived as helping individuals understand spiritual truths or personal challenges from a deeper perspective. Now, connecting experiences, just as intuition is shaped by personal experiences and knowledge, believers might say that the Holy Spirit works through their experiences, helping them to interpret and apply lessons learned in spiritual context. Now, for me, I think that we need to use both, but we also have to have discernment, in particular with intuition. Like we stated, analytical to back sometimes the decisions. Now, there'll be some times when you'll say, whoo, I'm not doing that thing. And you won't have to have any analytics behind it. But sometimes it might be necessary, is what I'm trying to say. Now, the differences in the two, there's the source where the guidance comes from. Now, intuition is generally understood as a psychological phenomenon that arises from one's own experiences and emotional intelligence. Where in contrast, the Holy Spirit is regarded in many religious traditions as a divine presence, part of the Holy Trinity in Christianity that is distinct from human experiences. It is divine. And then, of course, there's nature of insight. Intuition operates within human cognition and emotions. And that emotion thing can get us in trouble every time if we're not careful. Where the Holy Spirit is believed to provide transcendence or divinely inspired insight, often perceived as aligning with God's will or moral truths. But it has no human insight. It's all divine. And then, of course, we have cultural and religious context for the two. And intuition is a concept found in various philosophical and physiological frameworks, while the Holy Spirit is specifically theological in concept, rooted in Christian teaching, giving it a different context and authority to those who believe. Now, I'm not here to say which one is better, intuition or the Holy Spirit guiding us, but I am saying that we need to be mindful of the inner workings within ourselves so we know how to move forward a lot of times with things that come our way. Now, there's influence on morality as well. Intuition can sometimes be influenced by personal biases, sad but true, and social norms, while the guidance attributed to the Holy Spirit is often viewed as relating to a higher moral standard intended to lead individuals towards righteousness. Now, while both intuition and the Holy Spirit provide guidance and understanding, they differ in their source, nature, and context in which they operate. Intuition is a human capacity shaped by experiences, while the Holy Spirit is viewed as a divine presence providing spiritual insight. Now, I think it's so important that we remember this intuition and the Holy Spirit, and that we're not governed when it comes to intuition. We just take it and run. But sometimes with intuition, we have to use additional analytical knowledge to help us get through some of the things that we'll approach. And I caution with the Holy Spirit that we ensure that we are being led by the Holy Spirit and not just doing what we want to do, because I know how that is too. And I will share that I have found throughout my life that when I override intuition or the Holy Spirit because lack of understanding, I generally end up in trouble. I'm sure you might feel that way too. You'll look back and say, my mind told me not to do that. I know when I went left, I should have gone right. My spirit told me to go right. And that's just normal. I just say don't beat yourself up too much and try to get in tune with your inner workings so that we're not always looking at other people to guide us on our path. That we have what we need within each of us to help us on this journey that we're on this side of life. And that's what I wanted to share with you this week. Intuition and the Holy Spirit are very important, and we need to learn to discern and use them because they can save us from a lot of heartache, heartbreak, and a lot of turmoil in our life. Now, I do have an affirmation this week. I did put it in the write-up on the YouTube because it's kind of lengthy, but I thought it was good and I wanted to share it with you. I trust my intuition, and I am reading, knowing it is guiding me from the Holy Spirit. I embrace the wisdom within me, believing that my inner voice leads me towards love, clarity, and truth. Each day, I open my heart and mind to divine inspiration, confident that I am supported in my journey. I am aligned with the universe and trust that I am exactly where I need to be. I love that. I came across that and thought it was very nice. I wanted to share it. Now that's it for this week. Remember, you have everything you need to be successful. I hope you wake up every day knowing you are unique. There will never be another you. You are the only one, and you are here for a purpose. Find your purpose and get on it. Peace, love, and joy. Positivity in Motion, signing out. Have a fantastic week.